Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, my name is Solomon Jordan, and I am starting a video channel as an ex Jehovah Witness. And basically, what I wanted to do was I just wanted to start a channel and talk about my background and my story as an ex Jehovah Witness. And it's a very, very unique situation that I want to talk about. So, ever since I was a young child, I was around Jehovah's Witnesses. My dad was a Jehovah Witness, but my mom was not. And but for the most part, my younger years, I was with my father, and he was a very strict individual. And I grew up around the quote unquote with what they call the truth, you know. And it was a very strict lifestyle as a young kid. I couldn't hang out with kids that were not in the congregation, who didn't go to the Kingdom Hall. And I think that kind of had an effect on me as a kid, you know, not being able to do the things that you would like to do, like hang out with kids and have birthdays, have Christmas time, you know, even though I don't need it now, but I think those things affected me as a kid, not being able to do the things that other kids were doing. But I would say ever since I could remember, I was around Jehovah's Witnesses, and it was pretty strict. It was a strict lifestyle, you know, and rough times as a kid, I think, because I was a problem child, to be honest, and I would get in trouble a lot. And this didn't hold me in a good light in the congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. So I think there was numerous times where I was denounced and I was shamed in the Kingdom Hall. So now that I look back as a kid, I see how that affected me psychologically, being shamed, you know, for some things that regular kids go through, like going to parties or drinking, I guess, you know. And it just got to a point where I was internally didn't align with what the expectations were of the congregation. And eventually, I would say when I was about 17 years old, I decided that it wasn't for me to stay around Jehovah's Witnesses. And the thing is, I did get baptized as a Jehovah's Witness. Just to give you a little backstory about how I got baptized. First of all, I did not think it was for me. Something in me was telling me that this is not for me. You know, my heart just wasn't aligned with what these people were talking about. And but the thing is, my dad constantly would emotionally blackmail me. And my father would say things like, if you really love me, you will do this for me, and you would get baptized. Really think about that. Think about how a kid must feel saying that if you love me, you would get baptized. It's pretty fucked up. Excuse my language, but as I look back on it, it's pretty messed up. And so basically my dad emotionally blackmailed me to the point where I did feel guilty, and I eventually got baptized as a Jehovah's Witness. And I was a Jehovah's Witness for, I would say, probably not even a year. was a pretty short span of me being a Jehovah's Witness, I would like to think, because I was going to parties, I was fornicating, drinking alcohol. At the time, I was experimenting with drugs and whatnot, and I just couldn't hide those things, you know. It got to a point where I told my father, I was like, I was doing all these things. And I looked at all those situations as a scapegoat to get out of the congregation, because I was just tired of the burden of being judged and being publicly denounced by people who I really probably didn't even like anyway. So it got to a point where I sat down with my father and a couple of elders in the congregation where I went to. Now, I live in California. The congregation that I went to was in Brentwood. But I sat down with my father and an elder, and I just said that this is not for me, and I don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore. And my father did the fake cry thing. It was like one of the fakest cries that I've ever seen in my life. But looking back, I'm so glad that I got out, because I see how this organization is a cult. It's a cult, you know, and I'm so glad that I got out and I'm able to stand on my own 2 feet as a man. You know, it took a while. It took a really long time to be able to get on my own 2 feet, you know, because you stay in this organization, you stay in this cult, and when you leave it, you don't have any resources, you don't have any support. And at the time when I did leave the congregation, I left to a worse situation with a dysfunctional part of my extended family. And from there, more psychological damage was done, and it was just downhill. But I'm in a good position right now in life, and I've come a long way from leaving this congregation or this organization of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I'm just glad to be on my own 2 feet. And it's gotten to a point where I feel like I have to reach out and I have to tell my story, because I know there are other people out there who are going through the same thing that I've went through, or who have been through the same thing that I have been through, you know, and I'm still healing from what I went through with this organization, because it's, when you think about it and you reflect, it's just pretty crazy how they make you just feel shameful and guilty for no reason, you know? So I just wanted to create this channel so people like me can come together and have a space to talk about their experiences, and so I can talk about mine as well. So this is what I'm here for on this channel. So if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts that you want to share, if you want to share your experience, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm definitely down to support you. Yeah, so it's a crazy life, and my situation was very unique in itself too, because I grew up as a quote unquote Jehovah's Witness, I guess you could say, even though I wasn't baptized for that long. But that was my dad's side of the family, partially my dad's side of the family. And then my mom's side growing up was like super difficult, because my mom was a drug addict, and leaving the organization left me with no resources whatsoever at all. And it was pretty, that's why it's been so rough. And But I'm doing pretty good for myself now, and I'm glad to say that. And I've done a whole lot of healing. I'm going through therapy right now, and that's helping a whole lot. And if you could take advantage of that, please do. Therapy helps a whole lot. Being able to talk to somebody and to express yourself, you know. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this channel, was to create a space for people like me to talk and express themselves, because we come from a very unique situation. And I'm pretty sure there are people like me that come from the same background, but we don't have anybody to talk to, and nobody to express ourselves and understand what we're talking about. So that's why I've created this channel. So this is the first video. There will be plenty more. I'll be creating topics to talk about as a ex Jehovah's Witness. So please feel free to reach out once again. My name is Solomon. I'm signing off. Look forward to chatting it up with you guys. Talk to you soon.